even on the actual day of the performance at
Right.
the event, I had to pinch myself, I don't know how many times, to make sure that this is actually happening,
Right.
because it was so surreal, it was so dreamy. And but sir, more than the song, more than the particular song, more than Naatu Naatu,
Right.
I feel the very setup where someone from our country have had this opportunity of going there and presenting something of our own. Like, this is ours,
This is
right?
ours.
This is ours. So something of ours, we're getting this opportunity to present to them, which is in a theater, in the most prestigious platform, maybe,
Right.
where it is filled with greats from their industry. So that setup is what gave me goosebumps.
Welcome to News 18 Showsha. My name is Yatamanyu Narain and I'm with Kaala Bhairava, the voice of Oscar-winning song Naatu Naatu. We are going to talk to him about Hanuman Chalisa Ansh that he has sung for the Legend of Hanuman Season 3 and much more. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, namaste. I'm good. Thank you so much. It's
Right.
a pleasure.
So, sir, the Hanuman Chalisa Ansh is simply phenomenal because it's very different from all the other versions of Hanuman Chalisa out there. And it retains the sanctity of those holy words. How
Hmm.
was your experience lending your voice to this? And what did you like the best about this song?
First of all, thank you so much, sir, for the I mean, I take it as very big compliment, because I wanted to share something with you.
Right.
When I first started this process of composing for the composing the Hanuman Chalisa Ansh,
Right.
the very first thing I did was to listen to as many versions of the Hanuman Chalisa which were already existing.
Right.
So, I mean, there are countless number of versions, but I did my best to try to listen to as many possible. And the whole reason for me to do so, apart from to get the inspiration and motivation, one of the main reasons was I wanted to give a new dimension to the Hanuman Chalisa. And because the beauty of the words, and the beauty of and the depth of the narrative, it's in such a way that it is not, I feel, it cannot be restricted to one particular mood or one
Right.
particular texture. It can be presented in so many different ways. And there are so many versions out there which give you that instant calm, and put you into that meditative trance kind of a state. And there are a few versions which sound very melodious, and you just want to sit in one place and listen, and you just listen to it. And coming to my version of the Hanuman Chalisa Ansh, it was a conscious thing. I wanted to do it in a in contrast. I wanted to do it in a very rousing, pacey manner.
Right.
I wanted it to be very grandiose kind. And also I wanted it to have heavy rhythms and beats,
Right.
because I want this song, even if it is for a few people, if this song is one of those things they turn to look for courage and for that motivation, I feel I've passed. So that
Yeah.
is what I was aiming for. And thank you so much for that.
Yeah, definitely, sir. So, a song like this, like you also mentioned, is accompanied with traditional instruments, but this one
Hmm.
is modern music with the
Hmm.
contemporary. I mean,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that? And whether this fusion version of Hanuman Chalisa will be able to garner more listeners
Hmm.
or modern approach?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that is one more important process, in music production, where uh, no matter what, you should always remind. I mean, we are always reminding ourselves, to stay at least somewhat relevant, to the current generation average music listeners'
Right.
taste and sensibilities.
Right.
Sometimes what happens is, no matter how beautiful your I mean, not the Hanuman Chalisa, but in general, when you're working for movies,
Yeah.
sometimes what happens is, when you have, even though you have something very original,
Right.
very unique, but what happens is, if you try to present it in a way where in translation, in the execution, you're not able to stay relevant, and you're not making it into a product where the audience is able to receive or perceive easily,
Right.
then I feel it is somewhere we are not happy with the way it is received. So relevance and trying to keep it relevant, trying to stay relevant, I feel, it is something which is important for any creator
Right.
in the industry. So the same way I wanted to do it in a way where trying to create a balance between, our native instruments and also the Western style of instrumentation.
Right.
So yeah, I think it worked well. So very happy for that.
Interesting, sir. So, I mean, your devotion also towards Lord Hanuman was very evident from your, voice throughout the entirety of the song, and it brought a different kind of energy and flavor and vibe. So, I mean, I was
Hmm.
curious as to what does Lord Hanuman mean to you, and why should everyone, and especially kids, look up to him?
For me, Lord Hanuman um, was something else. Was literally, as long as I can remember, from my very early childhood, I have been a devout follower of Hanuman, and even at our place, even at my home, we can actually, we can actually, trying to count the number of Hanuman idols and photos in our home is a very big activity because it will take that much time. So, so I'm that aware. So we've been devout followers
Right.
of Hanuman since a long time, and Hanuman Chalisa, the Chalisa was something which came into my life at a later stage.
Okay.
It is only like at a later stage of my life was I actually came through this and actually tried with the already with the knowledge and with the little knowledge I had, and I tried to dive deep into the meaning
Right.
and also the power of those words,
Right.
and so from that stage onwards it's been I can say very in a very subconscious level, not just conscious, but to a very subconscious level also, it has impacted me in a very big way.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, now you don not only one but two caps, one of a singer and another of a music composer. So, but when it comes to striking a balance between these two disciplines, how do you go about it? And what did you enjoy more, composing or singing?
Uh, uh, it's a very difficult question, but like without being like to be very honest, I enjoy composing a little more than singing.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, because that's where most of my investment was in since I was a child,
Right.
and then I've been very fortunate enough. I've been lucky enough that I've also been given opportunities in singing because once you're actually able to put your art out there through your singing as well, it is complementing your composing as well, because singing, your voice is one of the biggest tools you can have for your composing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very lucky and I'm very grateful to all the composers who've actually approached me, who have actually given me the opportunity to lend my voice.
So, like you have spent more than a decade, singing songs for some of the most popular movies. However, you started your music composing quite late in your life. So, what's the
Yeah.
reason behind that? And I mean, who was the most influential part in your music composition journey?
Most influential, definitely Nana, my father.
Yeah.
So definitely, I mean, there's no one even close to him in terms of the influence they've had on me,
Right.
because from a very early age, I used to attend my father's recordings, and the only thing I used to do this, I just used to sit in a corner, stand there and just observe what's going on.
Right.
I feel my whole learning process began with observing.
Right.
Not the traditional, the traditional way of learning something, and then academically, going through grades and first learning this. So even before that, my learning process began from just attending his recordings and just observing what was
Right.
going on and how he's doing stuff and what everyone was doing, all the technical people, all the musicians, the singer. So it all began there. And then in terms of influence, yeah, I mean, he's the biggest influence.
Right.
And coming back to the question which you asked, it's very
Yeah.
interesting because as I said earlier, my always my ambition and my more of my mental investment was in composing
Composing.
naturally. But but very dramatically, I got my break first as a playback singer, and then, as you mentioned, only years later, I got my first break in composing.
Composing.
But yeah, one more reason for that happening so is because for composing, even though I've actually had a couple of opportunities even before to give my music for my debut movie, but then I wanted to wait for some more time because I felt that I still have to, I still have uh, I still have to learn more. I still have much more to learn before I actually take a step like this. Yeah, that is what I did, and so I still wanted to give myself more time to prepare.
Right.
So that's why it took time, and then but I'm very happy, for the way my composing career
Right.
kicked off.
So, I mean, how similar or different is your creative process from Kiravani, sir? And when it comes to, composing music?
It is very different. It is very, very different. Coming to my composing process, it is it is very funny because I don't have a fixed time and place for me to compose something. I don't have plans like, okay, tomorrow morning 9 o'clock I'm going to go to my studio and then work on this for some time. For me, if I have to, usually I work for films, right? When the director takes me through the situation and he wants a song for it, that is immediately after that meeting, like right from the meeting is from where itself the composing process starts in my mind. And there were many instances where I've composed songs while walking in the park, like in my while having shower, and while having food, or while I'm just there, while I'm sometimes in my sleep, half asleep. So it is it is because composing starts from an idea, right? Like how you want to do, and that thought, for musicians, your idea naturally translates like easily into a music theme or a piece or something.
Right.
So I don't have a time and place for it, but it is very random, and it is continuously, it's always on my mind.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, coming to the kind of impact Naatu Naatu had all over the world, I mean, it sort of united everyone across the continents to come together and dance. So, when your song receives so much of love and admiration, how does one process all of it?
It is not easy to process because even on the actual day of the performance at
Right.
the event, I had to pinch myself, I don't know how many times, to make sure that this is actually happening.
Right.
Because it was so surreal, it was so dreamy. And but sir, more than the song, more than the particular song, more than Naatu Naatu,
Right.
I feel the very setup where someone from our country have had this opportunity of going there and presenting something of our own. Like, this is ours, right? This is ours. So something of ours, we're getting this opportunity to present to them, which is in a theater, in the most prestigious platform, maybe,
Right.
where it is filled with greats from their industry. So that setup is what gave me goosebumps.
Right.
So today it is Naatu Naatu, and tomorrow it is something else, by another team, and day after two it'll be something else. But the setup is what excited all of us the most, because it is something from our country,
Right.
going there and being presented there. So
Right.
it was great.
Right. So, I mean, there has been a lot of buzz about RRR 2. And if that film happens, I mean, what kind of music should one be looking forward to? And whether, there will be a song that will carry forward the legacy of Naatu Naatu.
Like so many people, I'm with you. I mean, I really wish there was RRR 2, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, I have no. I'm just, let's manifest it. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but if it should happen, like obviously there should be a latest and another extension or another version.
Exactly.
Just Naatu Naatu, something to create same kind of euphoria. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I mean, it was such a pleasure speaking with you and learning more about your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Bye.
Have a great day. Thank you.